Today we're going to be talking about the recertification process taking over the entire state of Florida, and we're going to be focusing on Miami-Dade County. It's 30-year recertification for inland buildings and 25 years for coastal buildings. We're also going to touch base on the need for the 10-year interval thereafter for the lifespan of that structure. For those properties that require recertification, the property owners receive notices to commence the process because their structure has just become subject to the recertification, needing reports within the electrical lifespan of a building and the structural components of the same. The codes provide 90 days for the submittal of the required reports, again, structural and electrical, and you can find this information on the recertification inspection and guidelines, including also the forms that you might be needing online at the Miami-Dade County website, also in other agencies having jurisdiction. Please note that the following buildings in the residential space do not go through the recertification process. For example, in Miami-Dade, buildings with 2,000 square feet or less, single-family homes, duplexes, and buildings with 10 occupant loads or less. In a property, if the property owner fails to obtain the recertification within the time frame required, the property is referred to the unsafe structure section. In an enforcement case, it's open. The unsafe structure section monitors the recertification process thereafter, including posting the building unsafe, issuing a notice of violation, referring to the unsafe structure board, reviewing board order timelines for compliance and repairs, and the orders to vacate the property, and the collection of enforcement costs and any other actions deemed necessary. For more information, you can always visit the Miami-Dade recertification portal. So how do we use the portal, right? We know that this portal in Miami-Dade County allow us to search the process in properties needing recertification cases from 1996 to the present, including properties before that, within the Department of Regulatory and Economic Resources jurisdiction. Searches can be performed by folio, address, property owner name, property house number, street, and case number. To see all of the cases, we just need to click on all cases. So let's do a live example on how to do that. So we open up in our Google search, we want to search for the Miami-Dade recertification portal, and it takes us to this drop-down recertification search that we can work on, and we can start looking at properties on enforcement status. When we do that, an entire list in this case, of more than 2,000 properties become available, and we can literally start picking them one by one, identifying their current status. Again, these are properties in enforcement status that we want to evaluate. So we're gonna pick the first one as an example with the intention of understanding a little bit better. So we know it's in enforcement status, it's a residential building, and we have the folio number starting in this case with 01, making it City of Miami. And we have the square footage of the property, including the address and the application date required. So in this case, we can look at the property has received in January of this year a notice of required recertification, and later this same year received an advance courtesy notice. After that, the property received a notice of violation in April of this year, and it was referred to enforcement in month number 5 of this same year. So we know that this building could be very well needing our support as a general contractor, roofing contractor, and electrical contractor. So parallel to this tool, we open our CoStar platform where we are able to look for this specific property, and we find it here, and we have a variety of information that becomes available to us, including the last sold date, which in this case was March 2021, for the price of $2 million. And we have also more information about the property, including the year built, the number of units, owner type, an individual, and the type of construction, reinforced concrete, right? So with all this information, we can make an educated call to the true owner of this property that we can contact and email for more information to let them know, if they don't know already, the status of their property, what the property might be needing, and basically gathering information and the potential need that they may have for the recertification of this older building, which would include the structural engineering report and the scope of the work for this engineering repairs, the same for our electrical report and the potential need for electrical repairs and life safety of this building. So in general, what we're accomplishing here is letting know the owners of these properties the need that they may have for a building recertification, and putting our qualifications and services for their disposition to be able to work with us in the event that we serve them and we find their needs. And we can go through this process that sometimes become a rather complex process, and we help them go through this recertification process as smooth and as quick as possible.